Organigo.
Hi, Sean. Good afternoon. Two Pharmally officials, Mohit Dargani and Lincoln Ong, arrived at the Pasay City Jail at past 2 this afternoon. Recall that the two officials were among those cited in contempt with the Senate Ribbon Committee. This after they failed to produce the documents required by the Senate in its ongoing probe on alleged anomalous government purchases this pandemic. This morning, the two underwent antigen tests in the Senate before personnel from the Office of the Senate Sergeant at Arms, or OSAA, took them to Pasay. Last Friday, Senators gave Ong Dargani and his sister Twinkle Dargani an ultimatum to release Pharmally's financial reports by Saturday. Senate personnel were supposed to escort them to the location of documents and bring them to the Senate. But according to retired General Rene Samonte, Senate Sergeant at Arms, Dargani gave them three locations: Pharmally's office, his residence, and a warehouse. Committee Chairman Senator Richard Gordon says Ong and Mohit's continued presence in the Senate is already putting strain on the OSAA. Sean, BJMP spokesman Xavier Soda assured that there will be no special treatment for the two. The Pasay City Jail, Sean, is currently 1,000% congested with 1,104 inmates inside. Sean?
All right, thank you so much for that update and stay safe out there. Man Los Baños reporting to us live from Pasig. Thanks, Man. In COVID news, we have one epidemiologist not being surprised should the Omicron COVID-19 variant manage to enter the country. NITAG member Dr. Kongki Lim Quizon told Agenda that eased travel restrictions could pave the way for the new variant to enter the Philippines. However, Dr. Quizon said that the early detection of Omicron has given countries enough room to prepare and to improve monitoring.
As I said kanina, maliit na daigdig natin because of travel. So it's not, I wouldn't be surprised kung meron makakalusot. Pero sana hanggat maaari, wala muna. At mangyayari lang yan kung vigilant tayo sa ating surveillance system.
Meanwhile, in an interview with One News, Octa research member Professor Guido David has warned of a possible surge by February or March next year if the Omicron variant manages to enter the Philippines and is left to spread. David said the country's holiday season is safe, at least for now.
If this variant is as destructive as it potentially is, and it somehow manages to get in our borders, we may be seeing a surge sometime around February or March heading into the election, and that would be unfortunate.
An infectious disease expert, meanwhile, has allayed fears on the supposed ability of the Omicron variant to evade COVID-19 vaccines. In today's Palace briefing, Dr. Edsel Salvana said studies on how the new variant respond to available jabs are still underway. Either way, though, Salvana said that protection from vaccines will not necessarily disappear with the emergence of new variants. Salvana also noted that vaccine makers such as Pfizer can modify their shots in a span of 100 days in order to address the impact of mutating COVID-19 variants.
Hindi naman po mag-zero yung protection ng ating vaccines. Gradual po yung pagbagsak nito. Kung sakali man, wala pong ebidensya na siguradong babagsak po talaga yung effectiveness. At tuloy pa rin po yung protection, especially against severe disease. At kung nabawasan man ito ng, to a significant degree, sinabi na rin po naman ng mga manufacturers ng vaccines na kaya po nilang i-modify yung kanilang mga vaccines.
Virologist from Johns Hopkins University discusses initial information about the highly mutated Omicron COVID-19 variant. Let's listen in.
We know that just before Thanksgiving, it became obvious that there was, in South Africa, a new variant that had an abnormally high number of mutations across its gene, but in particular in the spike protein, which is the target for the vaccines that are being distributed globally now. What happened recently is that the South African public health officials realized that one of their PCR tests could actually serve as a surrogate for this variant. And if you use that data, it seems like this 529 variant variant is increasing at an incredibly fast pace across areas of South Africa and multiple provinces of South Africa. So that was the real significant piece that caused this to get on everybody's radar screen.
Do we have a sense of how much it evades the natural immunity conferred by prior infection or by some vaccine?
Just theoretically, from looking at the sequence, and you could probably see it right behind me on my desktop here, it has a number of mutations which have been predicted to evade antibody responses. Now, it has a few that are conserved, so this won't be a case of something that's completely able to evade the vaccine-induced immunity, but it has more than other variants that we've seen so far, which again, on paper, is what is concerning to us. It's a time to actually go out and do something proactive. If you haven't gotten your booster, go get your booster. If you haven't gotten your vaccine, go get your vaccine. Because by the time this variant becomes a global threat, if it does, now is the time to act to try to do something to help curb the impact of this variant. So it just serves as a reminder, we have tools, we have to use them efficiently, and if you haven't been vaccinated, now's the time to get it. If you haven't gotten your booster, now's the time to get it to really give you the best tools to fight off this variant. Good testing coupled with sequencing allows for the detection of these variants early, and that helps us prepare for these variants. And then two, it informs the current public health interventions. As I mentioned, getting yourself vaccinated is the first thing that you can do right now. It may be that we need to reformulate a vaccine. If this virus does become dominant in the world, that can be done. We have antivirals on our way that can be utilized effectively, but we have to think about these things as layered approaches to protect us from COVID-19. None of them is 100% effective, but combined approaches allow us to minimize the severity of this disease. And again, this variant is going to be another test, if it does emerge globally, of how well we can do the things that we've already learned can turn the tide on COVID-19 cases.
We'll be back with more stories after this short break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Health Department reported over 600 new COVID-19 cases on Monday. This has brought the country's total infections to more than 2,832,000, some 16,200 of which are still active. Around 140 patients died of the disease overnight, bringing the death toll to 48,500. Meanwhile, total recoveries are now at 2,767,000, with almost 1,000 new survivors logged in the last 24 hours. And out of the 32,600 tests conducted for today's bulletin, only 2.1% yielded positive results. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The MMDA has brought back the number coding scheme this week, but only from 5 to 8 p.m. Exempted from the coding scheme are PUVs, ride-hailing services, motorcycle delivery services, garbage trucks, and delivery trucks. President Duterte led the launching of the National Vaccination Drive, which kicked off today and will last until December 1st. The target number of vaccinations had been adjusted from 15 million down to 9 million because of supply and logistical issues. Another 3-day inoculation drive from December 15 to 17 will be held in order to complete the vaccination of 54 million Filipinos. And the PBA is set to return to action on December 8 after securing approval from the IATF. PBA Commissioner Willie Marshall said they are in talks with LGUs to allow fans inside the venues. The first 2 games of the import-laced Governor's Cup will be played at the Inares Arena in Pasig. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.